This is Alana Mastrangelo with Breitbart News, and we are here in Phoenix, Arizona at Turning Point USA's AmericaFest conference with Michael Knowles from Daily Wire. And so we are 30 days out until Trump is inaugurated. It's the end of the year. What do you see as the trajectory of the country now with the new Trump administration?
I think there was a pivot. I think, some people are talking about the second Trump term as a reprieve. And I understand we all exhaled when he won the election. I thought, at least we get a reprieve. I don't want to think of it as a reprieve. A reprieve implies things are going to go back to the way they were once he's gone. I don't think we have to. When you look at the raw numbers, he won, obviously, the Electoral College. He won the popular vote. He won 1 in 5 black guys and almost half of Hispanics. He won women 45 and older, 44% of women under 45, 40% of women under 30. The group that's most likely to vote for Kamala. I did the math before coming here. He won 2 Democrat presidential primary candidates from the past 2 cycles. He won 17% of Democrat primary candidates from the past 2 cycles. That is not just a reprieve. That seems to be a shift. It seems to be a fundamental turning in direction. So what are we going to get out of the first year? I think we have to get significant deportations, which is now a mainstream majority political winning issue. I think we have to get some real assault on the corruption in the bureaucracy. I think that has to happen. And maybe you get a little bit of tactical tariffs, but it's not as important. But he can't do everything. And dealing with the Republicans in Congress is like herding cats. So I think if he hits those 2.5 things, that's going to be a good start for a lot of momentum.
Yeah, and we even see with the Arab Americans, Democrat leaders that were out of Michigan endorsing him, had a leading third-party candidate drop out. And
I was at MSG with the big Trump rally, and I looked down at the floor, and I saw some guy waving a huge Israel flag, and then, I don't know, maybe 40 feet away, a woman in a full niqab or burqa almost, at least some kind of head covering. And I thought, man, talk about how politics is the art of inclusion. This guy has a very pro-Arab person, a very pro-Israel person. And it was actually rational for both of those people to vote for him. The Israelis and people who are supporters of Israel, because Trump has a town in Israel named after him, he's a very pro-Israel candidate. But even Arabs, Muslims, people concerned about the Middle East, because Trump's the peace candidate. So it's actually rational for them both to vote for him. In the same way that you have, I'm a rather conservative, traditional Republican. You've got someone like Bobby Kennedy, who's a big lib his whole life. He's a member of the Kennedy family. It's rational for us both to vote for Trump. He's able to really bring the art of the possible and the art of inclusion together. So that's very encouraging. The question then is, with this huge tent now, are we going to be able to maintain our identity? I think we can, but that's going to be at the level of ideology and philosophy. That's going to be the fight that goes on.
Yeah. And in some cases, maybe the identity would be good to scrap some things like the old guard and everything. What do you see with the trajectory of that? Like, will the old guard hold on? I mean, we have the drama now with Mike Johnson, his spending bill collapse and his speakership on the brink. What do you think is going on with that? He canceled on this event.
Mike Johnson has the worst job in all of politics. So I have a little pity for him because I wouldn't wish that job on my worst enemy. It's an impossible job. The reason for that is there is ideological diversity on the right. You have the country club types, you have the neocons, you have the libertarians, you have the traditionalists, you have the populists. They say that obscure political monikers are the right-wing version of gender pronouns. Everyone seems to have their own. So he's always going to fail, and the next guy's going to fail, and the next guy's going to fail. What does that mean for all of us in this coalition broadly, outside of Congress? I think it means we don't need to agree on everything, but we do need to agree on some basic things. We at least need to not fight some basic things. God exists. The existence of God can be known with certainty from the natural world. That seems kind of pie-in-the-sky philosophy. That was very important to our founding fathers and to our framers. It's what the Declaration is predicated on. It's what the Constitution is predicated on. John Adams says it was how the War of Independence was won. Those were the principles. It's in our national anthem. It's on our money. It's an important point. And it's important not just for religious piety, but to figure out what man is. Now we don't know what a woman is. We don't know what a man is. it's in part because of our confusion on the first question. Man is made in the image and likeness of God. That means we have intellect and will. The beasts have only instinct and appetite. Sometimes it seems like we have that too. But we're really supposed to have intellect and will. Because we have intellect and will, we can make laws to govern ourselves. We are held to standards of justice. This is like self-government 101, but we've forgotten about it for 100 years. And how do you have a society? How do you have any polity at all? You have to have a family. It means you have to have kids. You have to go out and get married. And not only know the right things, not only believe the right things, but you have to do it. I'm sick of hearing from people about the decline of the West when they refuse to get married and they refuse to have kids. Don't talk to me about declining birth rates when you're throwing another box of condoms in the shopping cart. I don't want to hear it, okay? Don't talk to me about the erosion of public morality when your favorite hobbies include doing drugs and watching porn. Hypocrisy is the tribute vice pays to virtue. They're right about public morality, but just then don't give me the hope that things are going to change. You actually have to put it into your own body. These are the lessons that I think we need to teach our new friends who are coming into the Big Ten. I think that can be done. I think there's an appetite for it. I think people follow the leader. We're mimetic creatures, When someone does something really courageous, really convicted. I mean, when Trump stood up, he said, fight, 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 blood on his face. A lot of other people stood up. A lot of people said that's when Trump won the election. I think they're probably right. So we can follow a good example. And if you have enough good examples, you have enough good communities, then you have a good country. But you have to know what you think at a basic level and then actually do it.
Yeah, that's true. There's definitely been a cultural shift. A lot of people seem to have relaxed on Trump or even switched sides. And so, but speaking of, more on the religious side of things, what do you make of the FBI spying on Latin churchgoers? Like, what is that about? Is it a political is it because they're pro-life? Is it because they're traditional, having a lot of kids? Because you do have a group that's, following a more conservative, traditional way of life, and then why is the FBI looking at them? What do you make of that?
Well, because that's extremist. That really is extremist. In a culture that says, don't have kids, don't get married, lop off your body parts, then that is to just go to church and have a big family and to be normal. That is extreme. That's a threat to the liberal regime. When this came out under Merrick Garland months and months ago, that Garland was infiltrating traditionalist Catholic parishes, radical traditionalist parishes, as they said. The FBI denied it. They said, oh no, that didn't happen. Then we produced the memo. They said, oh, okay, well, there's only one field office. Then we found more memos. And then you realize this is a systemic problem because, and this is another important lesson for the newcomers to figure out, the chief threat to the liberal establishment is not the individual. The chief threat to the liberal establishment is not some loudmouth on TV. The chief threat to the political establishment is the family, because the family is the bedrock political unit. It is a society in itself. That's why the left spends so much time trying to redefine the family as though that were possible, trying to kill the fruit of the family, which is children, trying to discourage people from having families in the first place. Of course they're going to go after the Catholic. Of course they're going to go after any normal religious group that's living a normal life. That's in the interest of a corrupt establishment. Now the guy that we just put in office, it's his job to drain the corruption out of that establishment.
Nice. And then this will be the last one. So we're here at AmericaFest. What is your message? You're going to go on stage. What's your message to the people here and just America in general? This is
the biggest AmericaFest ever. I've come many years. My wife actually keeps being pregnant inconveniently around these times, so I've had to miss a couple. But this one, by far, is the biggest. Why are so many people here? It comes down to 3 words. Because we won. And we're excited. And there's no substitute for victory. General MacArthur was 100% right about that. So we won. We have an opportunity. Time is a little limited, though. Okay, don't neglect it and look up. In 2 years now, we no longer maybe have a unified government. Oh, darn, we should have done this and that. We look up in 4 years, oh, darn, we could have. No, this is your chance. It's now. People are hungry for it. So you see the grassroots is out here. Go out there and actually do it. We've all been talking about it. We've put in money. We've come out and vote. The American people have done their job. Former Democrats have done their job. Now the people we put in office have to do theirs.